for the profession, right? I
No,
mean,
I agree.
everything that you're going to be doing as an endo resident is going to be based off of evidence and research that was done
Yeah,
years and years ago, and some of the new research that's out there right now, right?
yeah,
And I think that's another reason why a lot of people are attracted to endo, because of that research component, but also because of the details, but also just being able to save something for a person, namely their tooth, versus, oh, my leg hurts, just cut it off. No, we're not going to do that. Don't do that. That's not the mentality. You wouldn't do that, for your other body parts. So let's not do it for your tooth, right?
no, exactly.
So, one of the things that many people, when they are getting ready for this opportunity, have to do is they've got to prepare their application. So, talk a little bit
Yeah.
about um, those steps that you took to prepare your application. And it sounds like it started second year dental school.
Yeah, yeah. So after a couple of introductory classes where basically all the specialists were coming in and they were talking about the specialty and all that stuff. Basically the way the program was constructed at McGill, it's like you do 1 year and a half of general medicine with the medical students, and then after you get into like the thick of it, if you want. It's more dental, or it's more dental oriented starting the middle of second year. So you have all the specialists that come in and give you your classes about fundamentals of dentistry. And right after the couple of classes we had on endodontics, it really sparked my interest, because I thought that the approach was so different compared to the other specialty, that I was really intrigued. So in the summer between second year and third year, I shadowed the endodontic program at the University of British Columbia, and I also shadowed at the University of Michigan during that summer. Then after that, during third year, I shadowed at Columbia University, then at Harvard. Then I went back in Vancouver, because I really liked the program over there, and because I was in Canada, I thought I would be easier to get in. I don't have to get a student visa and all that stuff. But after talking with a couple of friends at Harvard and all that, I realized that maybe Harvard would be the better match for what I wanted to do. So basically, that's all the shadowing that I did. I did some shadowing in Montreal, various endodontic clinics, and basically starting at the end of third year, that's where I started gathering more things for my CV, and writing applications, essays. I tried to apply in Canada, but there's no spots. It was with COVID. It was difficult to send your all your requirements, getting in touch with schools to send your transcripts. So it really didn't work out. But then after that, in after fourth year, that's when I decided to apply in the U.S. So I did my U.S. boards, the new one, where it's only one step basically.
Mm-hmm.
I sent everything in as soon as the ADAT website would open. So I was done with everything. 3 recommendation letter, everything was done the day that it opened, because I knew that that endo doesn't really take part in the match system.
Right, right. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're not part of match, and the application cycle is super early,
yeah, yeah, exactly. So
like June, July.
yeah. No, you really have to, um, like you really it's like it's during the summer. So if you wait until the ADAT website opens to ask your tutors and your mentors for recommendation letter, forget about it.
Forget
You
about it. Yeah,
No, you're done.
yeah.
So I started early, gathering everything, asking for recommendation letters. You really have to be on top of everything, because um, because you just have to. Uh, they don't respect the timeline that's posted on the
Yeah,
websites.
it's quick and it's quick. And it happens quick.
Really,
Yeah,
it's really
Endo
quick.
Endo does not play. Endo does
No,
not play. And you
um,
mentioned something that I think those that are watching and listening need to know. It sounded like you had a specific plan related to shadowing
yeah,
that really seemed to be beneficial. I mean, you mentioned like four programs: BC Columbia, University of Michigan, Columbia University in New York, and Harvard, where you're
yeah.
going to be going to. So, like, how did you know about that? Like, did someone mention it to you? Did some of the professors at McGill say, "Hey, if you're thinking about specializing, especially endo, shadow and as part of your application preparation, like how did you go about getting those shadowing opportunities? Because that's key."
Yeah, so that's thanks to you. I watched your video, like the one that you made like 5 years ago about how to like the 7 steps how to apply to endodontics, and you put a lot of emphasis on like going to the AAE meetings or getting connections. And I don't want to like I know that it sounds like I'm brown nosing right now, but it's really helped me, because connection is key, and I think that's for any programs,
Yeah,
any specialty programs. Connection is key, because um, grades are kind of taking a back seat because
yeah.
most schools now are going pass or
Pass
fail.
fail,
So
pass fail.
unless
Yep.
yeah,
And everybody, all the candidates that are applying to endo, guess what? Everyone's got a 3.8, a 3.9,
yeah, exactly.
a 3.7. So it's like, okay, that's not going to
So
differentiate you at
no,
all.
that was one of the other thing that I noticed when I like, especially when you get into dental school, everybody's great. Everybody has good grades. So if you're in a pass or fail school, the only way of like being above the others when in terms of grades is it's to win an award.
Right.
But when the awards are played, like when the play between getting the award and not getting the award is like 0.2% on a 98% grade or whatever, how do you want to spend your time? Do you prefer to spend your time going shadowing or studying like the 10 hours more in order to get that 0.2%? I prefer to go shadowing. I think that was my efforts were better placed that way.
Yeah. And let me ask you, as far as your letters of recommendation, were you able to get letters
From alumni.
from not only alumni, but more specifically, I'm thinking more with the people that you shadowed with. Was there anyone that was
Yep.
able to write you? So you also got LORs from them, right?
Yeah, so I got letters of recommendation, not necessarily from people in the program, but people that did go to the program. So alumni that did go to the various school where I applied. Um, I did get recommendations. I did get recommendations later. I got
Good.
lucky because one of the endodontists that I shadowed in Montreal was actually a Harvard alumni, but he was also a teacher over there. And I found that out
Mm.
when I spoke to him like on the phone and when I went to shadow him at his clinic. I didn't know. I like that's a pure stroke of luck, but sometimes things happen like that. Like
Yeah.
the planets align and it just works out.
The endo
Um,
planets,
yeah,
the endo files align from Canada to the US and all of that.
yeah. But so I got lucky. I got lucky there, but obviously, if you can have someone that's in the program vouch for you by writing you a
Yeah,
recommendation
that's key.
letter,
So
that's
key.
that's great. But
So key.
yeah,
The endo programs, so you guys are listening and watching, it's a tip. The endo program directors want to hear from other endodontists about you, especially if you've had a chance to work with them on some research or something similar to that.
Next assignment is go to the next video. Go to the next video right now. Go, go, go. Love, peace, and smiles. Go to the next video. Go to the next video.